The Australian boat race is Australia's oldest sporting rivalry between two great universities, Sydney and Melbourne. A rivalry built on 150 years of tradition. Today, Melbourne's Yarra River plays host to this prestigious rowing regatta staged between the men's and women's eights of University of Sydney and University of Melbourne.
And firstly, the Melbourne Uni crew for the men's today, coxed by Sarah Banting, David Crawshay, Josh Booth, Cameron McKenzie-McCarg, George Ellis, James Marburg, Jordan Smith, James Redhead and Sean Lake. And the Sydney Uni crew, coxed by Will Raven, includes Fergus Pragnell, Nick Hudson, Cameron Girdlestone, Peter Costa, Tom McClintock, Alex Purnell, Tom Saker and Kit Cunningham-Reid. About to get underway, and we are away in the men's boat race for 2013. On the far side of the course, it's Sydney Uni. On the near side, in the blue shirts, it is Melbourne Uni. Fergus Pragnell off to a very quick start there. It's David Crawshay, the Olympic gold medalist from 2008.
Okay, here we go now.
And you can probably hear just the cox in the background there. Sarah Banting just urging David Crawshay to get into rhythm, which he is. And both crews going stroke for stroke early in this race. To do as they come under the first bridge here, which is the Church Street Bridge.
As we see Sydney Uni get the advantage on this bend here, both crews staying really close together. We'd be looking for a lot of relaxation in the boats. The rowers would be right into their rhythm.
There are some narrow aspects to this river though, and it does cause a few logistical problems for both crews. Sydney Uni on the inside of the course, on the outside it is Melbourne Uni. Sydney Uni have won this race 3 times in a row, and a slight clash there between the two boats, and you can see the oars clashing there, Marty.
This is real racing, this is real river racing out here as we see the oars still really close together.
On the bottom of the screen, now lead by 3/4 of a boat length, and starting to establish a sizable lead over Melbourne Uni. This is a long race. It's 4.6 kilometres under 5 bridges, so anything can happen in these races.
Let's go now. Melbourne Uni clinging onto Sydney Uni's stern. They're just making their way up the boat a little here. There's a big move on.
Gee, the oar from Nick Hudson in the 7th seat from Sydney Uni getting very close there to the boat of the Melbourne crew.
This is just amazingly tight here. Melbourne Uni not willing to give Sydney Uni any more water as they're getting closer and closer. Melbourne Uni are working up the boat here. Oh, that's
Sydney
tight.
Uni, well, very tight, and you can see the clash of the oars there, and Melbourne Uni virtually just rowing straight through.
Just fighting as we see Pete Costa loses an oar. Melbourne Uni just keeps surging on as Sydney Uni have stopped dead.
Well, David Crawshay just stopped there momentarily, but then kept going, and you can see there the instructions from the coxswains, and this is a replay of the clash of oars.
See just there as Pete Costa loses that oar as both boats so close together.
Well, not only Pete Costa, but Nick Hudson had his oar out of the water as well, and they stopped in their tracks. They were leading by 3/4 of a boat length. They've stopped in their tracks, and that has caused major disruption to the Sydney crew, and Melbourne are just rowing through. We can see there David Crawshay again having a look across. And so Melbourne Uni virtually rode through this.
Melbourne Uni have rode through this. They just don't want to give an inch away. They've lost this race in the men's race the last couple of years. They want to win it on their home turf.
Sydney Uni had a lead of half a boat length. They now trail by almost 3/4 of a boat length to Melbourne Uni, who've rode through this.
And Sydney Uni, they'll be fighting with all their worth here just to cling back that little bit. We see Nick Hudson in the 7th seat really toiling away there.
Trying to put their foot down a little bit to try and get back into this race. Powering towards the finish line. Sydney Uni doing everything they possibly can to keep in this race, but it's all too late. And Melbourne Uni, as they push towards the finish line, only a couple of strokes to go. There's the finish line, the Princess Street Bridge, and David Crawshay and the Melbourne Uni crew have won this race.
Just huge for Melbourne Uni. Sydney Uni will be coming into view here shortly. They'd just be devastated. They were up by 3/4 of a length, maybe more there at one stage, and to have Melbourne come through, that'd just be heartbreak for the Sydney University crew.
2013.